Are you going on a Royal Caribbean cruise and you're trying to decide whether or not to spend the money on the Empire Supper Club? If so, this video is for you. I'll take you along with me. I'll show you the facility. I'll show you the food and the pairings. And after that, I'll tell you what I think. Let's go. Welcome to the Empire Supper Club, an evening of glitz and glamour. It's inspired by the elegance of the 1930s in New York City. It offers a 6-course gourmet dinner with 3 surprise courses, 1 dessert and 2 appetizers. And you don't get extra drinks with those, but they don't tell you about them until you get there. Each course is complemented by a unique cocktail, with the exception of the 3 surprise courses. It features live jazz music throughout the evening, and the crazy thing is the music goes with the courses. It's designed for an intimate dining experience. Formal attire is required, and if you show up and you're a guy and you don't have a suit jacket on, you can borrow one from them. The experience lasts right around 3 hours, and it costs $200 per guest. On the Icon of the Seas, the Empire Supper Club is located on Deck 8, right at the end of Central Park. After speaking with several of the crew members, it looks like the upcoming 2 new Icon class ships will both feature a similar experience, but with a different theme. In the Empire Supper Club, when you show up, you are greeted by name by your waiter or waitress. They actually have photos of you and will walk right up to you and say hello and introduce themselves. They'll sit you down, they'll pour you a glass of champagne, and within a very short period of time, the 3-person band will start playing, and they were outstanding. They then give you this real fancy menu. The only thing you have to pick is what you want for dessert and what you want for your main meal. Everything else is predetermined unless you have some sort of a food allergy or you don't eat fish or something like that, and you tell them ahead of time. In addition to what you're seeing here, as I said before, there are 3 surprise meals. There's 2 before the first meal, which are like palate cleansers, and then there's 1 for dessert. This is surprise course number 1, and it is this little itty bitty thing that kind of looks like a bagel with caviar on top. It was outstanding. It was very good. And then surprise course number 2 is basically your bread. It was spicy pecan bread with honey drizzled over the top and sweet butter accompanying it. It was very, very good. I would say it's on par with what they give out at 150 Central Park, but sweet. Next is Oysters Rockefeller, and exactly what the name says. It's an oyster that's breaded, and the side sauce was outstanding as well. The next is a ravioli, which has a soft egg yolk inside, and the flour is edible. It's an orchid. And this is the first drink, which is the Staten Island Spritz. And before that, you get champagne. And let me tell you, they just keep freely pouring that champagne until you finish it all. And up next is our first real seafood dish. And it's basically this small lobster thing, and the blood and sand drink that comes with it. Now, I have to say, the drinks, most of them were quite strong, and most people there did not finish any of their drinks. And this is the Caesar salad. The Caesar salad was great. I absolutely loved it. I thought how it was laid out, its presentation, and everything. However, the drink that came with it, the East of Houston, I'm sure there's some people that would love that, but my least favorite drink out of all of them. Then they give you a sorbet to cleanse your palate. And then I had the rabbit for my main course. As far as I could tell, because I looked around at everyone else's main courses, I was the only person that got the rabbit. And if you've ever had rabbit before, outstanding. I was incredibly lean, very, very good. Very, very good. And the drink was a New York sour, and as you can see, the ice cube actually has an E in it. For dessert, I got the cheesecake, and this was interesting. So it was cheesecake, but there was a shell around the outside of the cheesecake. That's not a complaint. It was very good. It was just different. And the toasted almond beverage that came with it, fantastic. If you've ever had like a chocolate martini, kind of similar to that.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
And finally, at the very end, for the surprise dessert, they brought out a cotton candy tree. So that's a cotton candy on top, and the trunk of the tree was chocolate, and those football-shaped things on the side were fudge. And at the end, all the chefs, the waiters, waitresses, maitre d's, everyone came around and talked to each of us. It was absolutely amazing. So what did I think? If you can't tell, I loved it. I would definitely give this 5 out of 5 stars. I know in the past, if you've watched some of my videos, I'm a huge fan of the chef's table. However, at the chef's table, you do have to sit with a bunch of people. That's not my thing. I've had amazing meals where everyone at the table was fantastic. And I've had a couple where I've wanted to just leave before the food was done because they were so obnoxious. And my go-to after the chef's table is the Taste of Royal, which is kind of like a lunch version of the chef's table. You can pay extra to get pairings, and the food isn't bad. But again, it's not as fancy or high level as the chef's table. But this, it's $200, which I'm going to talk about in a second. However, it definitely, in my opinion, is worth every penny. And on the the 2 new Icon class ships, if you're watching this one that first comes out, as I said, they are going to have versions of this. And one of them is going to be based on Chicago. I'm not sure what the other one's going to be, but I will definitely go to both. So let's talk about the positives. I was blown away by the fact that they approached me in the beginning by name and introduced themselves, and I think my waiter only waited on one other table. That was amazing. The drinks, unless you drink a lot of alcohol, the amount of alcohol that you get in this is staggering. You think about it, there are 6 drinks that you get, but when you first get there, they constantly refill your champagne glass. I think I had like 4 glasses of champagne before I even started the 6 drinks. And those 6 drinks are full drinks. They're not like tastings or something. They're full drinks. And as I said, a lot of the people around me didn't even come close to finishing all their drinks. The food, by far, the best food I've ever had on a cruise ship. And I've been on a lot of cruises, and it's absolutely amazing. The wait staff was fantastic. The band was, I hate to keep using the word fantastic, but they were fantastic as well. And the fact that at the end, the head chef came up and had like a 5-minute chat with me about my experience, Yeah, it's worth every penny. Now, let's talk about the negatives. The negatives, there aren't really any other than the fact it costs $200. But if you think about it, the chef's table is right around $100, and you don't get any music. You're not sitting in a special area just for this event. I mean, my goodness, if you have to go to the bathroom, they actually escort you to the bathroom and wait outside for you until you're ready to come back, and then they let you in. It's just on a level that's completely different from anything else you can find on an entry level cruise line like Royal Caribbean. So, is it worth it? Absolutely. 5 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this video, why not watch one of these other restaurant reviews? See you next time.